Newsround, a recap of stories that made headlines during the week. The headlines. A federal high court sitting in Umuahia, Abia State, orders the Attorney General of the Federation to delete Section 84, subsection 12 of the amended Electoral Act. APC chieftain Bola Tinubu meets the party's caucus in the National Assembly to seek support for his presidential ambition. Professor Charles Soludo sworn in as the 6th governor of Anambra State alongside his deputy, Dr. Onyekachukwu Ibezim. Russian forces bomb theater where hundreds of civilians find shelter. That's Newsround in View. Welcome again, and we'll begin Newsround from the Federal High Court sitting in Umuahia, Abia State, where Justice Evelyn Ayadike has struck down Section 84, subsection 12 of the newly amended Electoral Act, which requires government appointees to resign their positions before contesting elections, beginning with party primaries. In the judgment, the court held that the section is unconstitutional, invalid, illegal, null, void, and of no effect whatsoever, as it is in violation of the provisions of the Constitution. Justice Ayadike maintained that the 1999 Constitution already stipulates that appointees of government seeking to contest elections would only resign at least 30 days to the date of the election.
Our client approached the Federal High Court to determine whether Section 84, subsection 12, when read together with Sections 66, 107, 137, 182 of the Constitution is not inconsistent. Now, the court agreed with our submissions, and it has just ordered that Section 84, subsection 12 of the Electoral Act is inconsistent with the rights of Nigerian citizens when read with Section 66 of the Constitution, 107, 137, 182, and now nullified Section 84, subsection 12 of the Electoral Act. And as equally has ordered the Attorney General of the Federation to delete Section 84, subsection 12 of the Electoral Act forthwith. Now, the implication of this is that it has provided a congenial atmosphere for politicking and political space for 2023.
The interpretation of Section 84.12, which the court has graciously put to rest now, as being a total nullity, being in conflict with the provisions of the Constitution. And originally, we honestly believed that it was inadvertence on the part of the National Assembly. It was a big error. And being gentlemen and distinguished senators and the members of the House, I think they will now go back and do the right thing, since the court has made pronouncement on it. And that put to rest every other issue regards to that, so that we can move on with the national issues that are besieging us as a country and as a nation. So we don't have to be bogged down on the needless technicalities.
The coast now appears clear for the All Progressives Congress APC to hold its national convention, as Justice Bello Kawu of the Federal Capital Territory High Court has vacated an order restraining the exercise slated for March the 26th, 2022. In his ruling, the judge states that a member of a political party cannot sue his party, and held that the order of injunction issued against the APC on November the 18th, 2021, has been overtaken by a recent judgment of the Supreme Court on a similar matter.
All is now set for the All Progressives Congress to go ahead with its planned national convention, as a Federal Capital Territory High Court has given the party a nod to hold its convention. An aggrieved member of the All Progressives Congress, Mr. Salisu Umoru, had sought an injunction restraining the party, the May Malabuni-led committee, and the Independent National Electoral Commission, INEC, from organizing any convention until the hearing and determination of the suit. He also sought an order directing the caretaker chairman to resolve all disputes that had emanated from the local government congress conducted by the party. The court had granted an interim injunction restraining the All Progressives Congress from proceeding with the convention. Not satisfied, the All Progressives Congress approached the court to set the application aside. Ruling on the two applications by the All Progressives Congress, the judge held that Mr. Salisu Umoru cannot sue his party, adding that the injunction issued against the All Progressives Congress on November 18, 2021 has been overtaken by a recent judgment of the Supreme Court on a similar matter.
With due respect to the court, the argument profiled by first and second defendant with respect to seeking setting aside of the order has no nexus whatsoever. So they have invoked the position of immunity that the second respondent has. But the truth is the order wasn't made at the second defendant. The order was directed at APC. APC enjoys no immunity. So if you look at the nexus, how the court arrived at setting, it is at variance. There's conflict. And so we'll look at it. If there will be need to appeal the decision, we will. But for now, we are bound by it. The order has been set aside. The substantive matter is coming up on the 30th, and we'll be ready for it.
Usually, a member of a political party does not have a right to take the party to court. In any case, the court, because of the argument, in the wisdom of the court decided to vacate the interlocutory order and adjourn the matter, the substantive matter, to be heard.
Justice Bello Kawu subsequently adjourned the matter to March 30th for a hearing of the substantive suit.
In the meantime, Chieftain of the All Progressives Congress, APC, Chief Bola Tinubu, is asking the APC caucus in the National Assembly to support his lifetime ambition of becoming the President of Nigeria. Chief Tinubu made the plea during a meeting with the APC caucus in the Senate and House of Representatives. He told the lawmakers that he had informed President Buhari of his ambition to run for the presidential ticket.
Party chieftain and presidential aspirant Mr. Bola Tinubu arrives with Senate President Ahmad Lawan for a meeting with the Senate APC caucus at the National Assembly.
Once again, very important, as earlier announced.
The political arena has been abuzz since his formal declaration to run for the office of the president in 2023. Mr. Tinubu has been meeting with various politicians and interest groups over his presidential ambition. And it is not surprising that he's extending a visit to party members in the federal legislature to intimate them of his ambition to vie for the party's presidential ticket.
Why am I here? I came for your counsel, partnership, and support. The election is coming up in February. I can't do it by myself, and I can't do it by sitting at home, expecting that many friends, personal friends that I have here will do it for me. I believe jointly we can do it. You can back me successfully for the nomination of my lifetime ambition to become the president.
Once again, all of us wish you well, wish you the best of luck, wish you success in this. And in the affair of fighting for APC to continue to be the ruling party in Nigeria, justifiably so, Your Excellency, we are with you.
From the Senate, Mr. Tinubu moves to the meeting room in the House of Representatives to meet with over 200 APC members in the Green Chamber of the National Assembly.
We have only seen one person running up and down, traveling the length and breadth of Nigeria, giving to respect to whom respect is due.
Those who are in support of this gentleman to lead this country in 2023, please say aye.
The man of the moment reels out his resume and gives a subtle response to the public reactions regarding his health.
They didn't have anything to say, and they say he's not well. They are my doctor, let them prove it. Mixing of concrete and sand, this 24 skyscraper and only applying to do a brain job, to think and do.
Mr. Tinubu would leave the National Assembly possibly satisfied with the reception from APC lawmakers. Linda B, Channels Television News.
And in similar vein, the opposition party, the People's Democratic Party, PDP, is also putting its house in order ahead of the 2023 general elections. The party leadership is asking members to put aside their differences if they must take back power in 2023. This formed part of the outcome of a series of meetings by various organs of the party in Abuja to map out its timetable and schedule for the 2023 general elections, as well as discuss its primaries.
Members of the People's Democratic Party, one after the other, arrive at the Akwa Ibom Governor's Lodge for the continuation of the 41st caucus meeting of the party, which started on Monday night. The meeting holds behind closed doors for over 5 hours, and the members emerge without a word on the outcome of the meeting. Moments later, members converge on the PDP National Secretariat for the 95th National Executive Committee meeting. The meeting has in attendance members of the Board of Trustees and the national leadership of the party, including past and present governors, past and present lawmakers, as well as state chairmen. A gathering which the national chairman of the PDP, Senator Iyorchia Ayu, describes as a defining moment for the party.
I call on every member of this party to forget their differences. If there are differences, we must settle such differences in-house. No party member should attack another party member. If there are any issues, we have different organs of the party to resolve party differences. We work tirelessly. We are talking to individual members who have differences among themselves, whether in the wards, whether in the local governments, whether in the states or the national level, because such distractions must not be allowed to continue.
His view is reiterated by the chairman of the PDP Governors Forum, Governor Aminu Tambuwal of Sokoto State, and the House of Representatives Minority Leader, Honorable Ndidi Elumelu.
In families, in communities, there must be disagreement. What is important is how to resolve them and to continue to hold together as a family with love, compassion, affection for one another and charging forward. And that is what we demand and we call on our leaders and members of the party. We must not lose focus. I urge all aspirants from House of Assembly to the top to rein in their supporters and guide their utterances. We must remain united so that Nigerians can march with us to take over governance in 2023.
After the speeches, journalists are excused as the meeting continues behind closed doors. Emperor Simon, Channels Television News.
You're watching Newsround, and when we return, Professor Charles Soludo sworn in as the 6th governor of Anambra State. Stay with us. Welcome back. Former governor of the Central Bank of Nigeria, Professor Chukwuma Soludo, has been sworn in as the governor of Anambra State to drive the affairs of the state for the next 4 years. Professor Soludo is the 6th democratically elected governor of the state, and he was sworn in alongside his deputy, Dr. Onyekachukwu Ibezim, at the Government House in Awka, the state capital.
This is the first time the quadrangle of the Anambra State Government House is being used as venue for the swearing-in of a governor-elect as select guests make their way here to witness a change of guard in Anambra State. The governor-elect, Professor Charles Soludo, in company of his wife and family, arrived at the arena, whilst others, including the deputy governor-elect, Dr. Onyeka Bezim, political and traditional leaders, amongst others, had made earlier entrances. On his final official moment as governor, Mr. Willie Obiano makes his entry, inspects the guard mounted in his honor, marking the commencement of proceedings. And without much ado, the Chief Judge of Anambra State administers the oath of office on the Deputy Governor-elect. Next, the Governor-elect, Professor Charles Soludo, is sworn in.
And that I will preserve, protect, and defend the Constitution of the Federal Republic of Nigeria. And defend the Constitution of the Federal Republic of Nigeria. So help me God. So help me God.
Now, as the Executive Governor of Anambra State, Professor Charles Soludo emphasizes his vision to make Anambra a prosperous land.
Dr. Ibezim and I will work very hard every day to make you proud. We will seek active collaboration and cooperation with the federal government, our neighboring and other states, as well as the international community, to provide our state truly people-centered governance. We will consolidate the progress made by our predecessors to continue Anambra's upward trajectory.
Some of the guests expressed their optimism about the new administration.
Governance is about caring for the poor. It's about ensuring that people are pulled out of poverty. And look at his promises today. He consistently maintained that he's going to work for the people. He's going to secure the states. You know, we say this state is the light of the nation. That's what I christened it. And that's what we want it to be.
The event was, however, disrupted momentarily by the altercation between the wife of the outgoing governor, Mrs. Ebele Obiano, and the wife of late Emeka Ojukwu, Mrs. Bianca Ojukwu. Both women engaged in a physical brawl before they were separated by security operatives. The new governor, however, apologized to residents of the state over the incident. Meanwhile, according to the new governor's schedule, he is to work for 8 hours immediately after the swearing-in ceremony. And true to his words, he retires to his office in the government house, where a 4-year journey to reposition the state begins.
A federal high court in Abuja has fixed March the 28th for the ruling on the bail request of the suspended Deputy Commissioner of Police, Abba Kyari, and those of his co-accused. In a hearing of the bail applications on the alleged drug trafficking charges brought by the National Drug Law Enforcement Agency, NDLEA, a woman identified as the wife of the suspended Deputy Commissioner of Police slumped in court. The lady, who wore a black hijab, fell on the floor, while some operatives of the NDLEA rushed to offer assistance.
The suspended Deputy Commissioner of Police, Abba Kyari, and his co-defendants are back in court for the hearing of their bail application on the alleged drug trafficking charges. When the matter was called, counsel to the former head of the Police Intelligence Response Team, Mr. Mahmood Magaji, urged the court to grant his client's bail as the alleged offense is bailable. However, the prosecution, Mr. Joseph Sunday, urged the court to deny Mr. Kyari and all the other defendants bail on the grounds that Mr. Kyari would escape from the country and make himself unavailable for trial if he is released from custody.
The offense we are talking about is a bailable offense, and we are very confident that the court will do justice, apply the judicial discretion to ensure that the defendants get bail, for them to adequately prepare for their trial.
While one of the alleged co-conspirators needs more time to respond to the NDLEA counter-affidavit, the others chose to make oral responses to the counter-affidavit.
I need to carefully study the document. I need to also look at the proof of evidence that was served to us and be able to be sure that what I have to say in court will be what it is and not what I think it should be.
The NDLEA lawyer objected to the application while telling the court that there are averments in their counter-affidavits that show strong reasons why all the defendants should not be granted bail. However, drama interrupted the proceedings when a middle-aged lady identified as a wife of the suspended Deputy Commissioner of Police slumps. She was aided out of the court premises.
After 4 days of rest, women protesting at the gate of the National Assembly resumed their action, vowing to continue picketing the complex until the 5 gender bills rejected by the federal lawmakers are revisited. They were later addressed by Senator Rochas Okorocha, who showed his solidarity with the women, urging the National Assembly to attend to their demands. And while a factional leader of the National Youth Council of Nigeria, Mr. Solomon Adodo, led a group of youths on another protest and attempted to take up the same space as the women protesters.
The day starts with the gates of the National Assembly being open. There's a free flow of traffic into the premises. Soon, the women begin cordoning off the area, refusing traffic into the National Assembly. Last week, the women had threatened to begin picketing the campaign offices of the lawmakers they say voted against the gender bills during the constitutional amendment, and said they would only vote women candidates in the upcoming elections in 2023. They say this has started already.
We're aware about like 3 or 4 states they've started, but there's going to be a full-blown lobbying at their campaign offices, constituency, visit to them. We're going to be sending them letters, official letters. We're going to be sending them text messages so that they would know that this is a very important thing.
As the women mobilize themselves, another set of protesters, led by a factional leader of the National Youth Council of Nigeria, Solomon Adodo, claim they have a different protest and will be occupying the gates of the National Assembly. The women refuse.
Nobody is going to the gate. For now, just give us that respect that we are occupying the gates of the National Assembly.
The Solomon Adodo-led protesters decide to shelve their protest. The women begin their march. As they continue their speeches at the end of Democracy Avenue, they are met by Senator Rochas Okorocha, who, in addition to being a member of the Senate that has not made any attempt at rescinding his decision on the gender bills, has also recently declared his intention to run for president. The women ask him how he voted in the amendment, and he gives them some advice.
If I didn't vote for the women, it means I didn't vote for my mother. But I have this word of advice for you. It's not that the men are too powerful for you. It's that you have refused to come together as women to speak with us. And now that you have started, you can decide the next election.
Lots of advice for the women as they carry out their march here at the gates of the National Assembly. They've been urged to speak with one voice and get ready to change the elections come 2023. The demands that these women are making to the National Assembly have not been met yet, and this is another day of protest. But they said they will not relent, despite the fact that there are rumors out there that they may not actually get what it is that they are protesting for. But they said they will continue this march every single day until they get their demands. From the gates of the National Assembly, Kayla Magwa, Channels Television News.
A news round ends in Mariupol, where Deputy Mayor Serhiy Orlov says Russian forces have bombed a theater where hundreds of civilians are sheltering. According to him, there were between 1,000 and 1,200 people in the building, but the number of casualties is still unknown. Mariupol has been encircled by Russian forces, and an estimated 300,000 are trapped with no running water, electricity or gas. Food and medical supplies are running low, as Russia has not allowed the delivery of humanitarian aid. The city has been under constant Russian shelling since the start of the war, and an entire neighborhood has been turned into wasteland. That's it on Newsround. Thank you for watching. I am Paula Samuel Wemimo. Bye for now.